flowing through most of New York and New Jersey, connecting tribes and transporting people. The Hudson is one of America's most known and valued rivers. At one point, nicknamed America's Rhine due to its beauty, the river is home to many rare species of flora and fauna. But over time, this great water system has fallen victim to overpopulation. Large sections of the river are becoming polluted, and many of the animals and plants that once called it home are now dying. This video will document the history of the Hudson, and why it is so important to keep it clean, stopping pollution by dredging and fixing erosion by special frames. This land was once considered holy by the Native Americans. They called it Muhheakunnuk. The Hudson runs for 507 kilometers through two states, New York and New Jersey. It originates at the Holy Lake Tear in the Clouds between the Adirondack Mountains. At Harvest Straw Bay, it reaches its widest point at 5 kilometers. It runs through the Watershed Basin catchment area and is most known for its section which runs directly through New York City and all around Manhattan Island. An amazing thing about the Hudson River is its vast changes in terrain. As it starts in the mountains, it flows through forests, cities, and marshland. Most of its famous wildlife lives in these forests. The number of animals further downstream rapidly decreases as the river reaches Manhattan. Animals before the city benefit from its lush riverbanks, but humans, after the city, have to live alongside the large piles of rubbish flowing towards the sea. The Hudson River is widely known for its multiple species of rare and special animals and plants. The northern saw wet owl, the Atlantic sturgeon, red salamander, grass pink orchid, peregrine falcon, and the Hudson water nymph, which is a vegetable, are just some of the 200 types of fish, 19 rare kinds of birds, and 140 kinds of rare plants which call the Hudson home. Many of the animals reside here due to the brackish water and a large amount of food options. Unfortunately, many fish have been overfished, and 163 out of the 359 species living in the river are near extinct. Lots of large boats and their motors also rip through weeds at the bottom of the river. All of this damage is mainly around the city. The area of the river before the city is virtually untouched. The Hudson River's history is rich with the stories of many people who have settled on its banks. Before all its fame, before America was even colonized, it was inhabited by the Native Americans. At the time, it was a peaceful place, which connected tribes to each other. It was their main form of transportation. When England came, that all changed. Convicts settled around the banks, chopping down trees and building permanent housing. They also killed many of the natives with their new diseases. All the while, the river stayed the same, an important part of life in America. That all changed when the Revolution started. The river was the main front for many battles, such as Tappan Zee and Saratoga. This was when its popularity boosted. Word spread overseas, and soon the river became a well-known tourist attraction. It became a travel route, and when the Erie Canal opened in 1825, the cost of goods fell and helped boost America's popularity. Over time, the Hudson River has slowly fallen victim to pollution and overfishing. Factories dump tons of waste every year, including a strange toxic material called black mayonnaise. This is not only a hazard to the environment, but a threat to tourism, as the river is slowly turning a darker shade of brown each year. Surprisingly though, people still swim in it. They also fish too much. This both kills the fish and poisons the people, as many of the fish are contaminated. Another problem is extreme erosion. Overpopulation has caused a leap in the amount of boats which travel along the river. The waves caused by these boats have traveled downstream to the farms and hit the shores, eroding them and slowly attacking plants' roots. Luckily, both of these problems have solutions. For the first problem, pollution, this solution has been tried before, but not successfully. The plan was to dredge polluted strips of the river to remove PCBs, black mayonnaise, and various other chemicals. The whole thing was done in only 2 large stages and was rushed. After 3 years, the pollution has come back. A better way they should have done this would have been by doing it in 4 shorter stages, spending more time dredging. To make the cleaning more permanent, it would be better if the dredgers replanted some of the native plants in the cleared areas. The second solution is for the erosion. The exposed areas would have metal frames built in and plants planted. Then, the water would have no effect. The Hudson River is undoubtedly one of the most important rivers in America, as a main part of travel, tourism, and everyday life. The river is home to many animals and plants, and that is why it is important we must look after it. It is a belief mutually shared nationwide that this river is both practical and beautiful. It is important we keep it that way.